The Penn State Nittany Lions are entering a 2-game stretch where we're going to find out just how good of a football team the Blue and White are. And it all starts with a trip to rowdy Camp Randall Stadium on Saturday night against one of the Big Ten's hottest squads.
From LA to Piscataway, all Big Ten all year long. This is Big Ten 10.
Take it from someone who's been there and done that. Camp Randall at night is gonna be an absolute zoo. If you know anything about Madison, Wisconsin, at night, Halloween weekend, it is going to be rowdy. I think when I look at the rest of the schedule for the Penn State Nittany Lions, this is going to be the toughest road environment that they are going to play in the rest of the regular season. This is going to be a true test. If you think Penn State is just going to roll into Madtown and run the Badgers off the field by 3 scores or 4 scores, could it happen? Sure, it could happen. It's college football. A lot of outcomes could happen. But the way this Wisconsin team is playing and the atmosphere that they are going to be playing in on homecoming, I think that this is going to be a 4-quarter battle for the Penn State Nittany Lions. This is going to be a 4-quarter battle, of course, because of the environment, but also because this is the best version of the Wisconsin Badgers in the Luke Fickell era. There were some questions when this team was 2-2, blowing that 11-point halftime lead to the USC Trojans. But ever since then, the Wisconsin Badgers have been playing some really good football, and they've been playing some complimentary football that Luke Fickell has been talking about all season long. It all starts with the defense. Surprise, surprise, a Luke Fickell and Mike Tressel-led defense are good. It should not surprise anybody. This is a defense that is starting to gel together and really starting to hit their stride and turn the corner. They have only given up 16 points over the last 3 games. Now, before you shout at me and say, hey, Ted, look who they play, there's other defenses out there that against other teams where other teams have played these 3 teams, and Wisconsin's defense has fared a lot better. They are gelling together. They are playing really good football at all 3 levels of this defense right now. And the offense has finally figured out an identity. Shocker. It's all about running the football in Madison, Wisconsin. Since Ches Malusi left the Wisconsin program, Tawi Walker has stepped up to be one of the Big Ten's best running backs. 100-yard performance after 100-yard performance in this Wisconsin Badger offense. And this Wisconsin offensive line is also a big reason why. It is an extremely experienced offensive line up front for the Badgers. They have played in 159 career games up front, and they've made 138 career starts. They are protecting the passer as well, allowing only 3 sacks over the last 3 games as well. So this is a Wisconsin offense with offensive coordinator Phil Longo that has said, hey, we got to run the football. We got to feed number 3 in red and white. And when he's been able to run downhill, that's when that play-action game with Braden Locke has really worked well. Vinny Anthony has established himself as a downfield threat for Wisconsin. He has stepped up into a bigger role this season. Will Pauling, of course, has been good, but he's been battling some injuries lately. Tretch Kekahuna has stepped up into that role as well to create some big plays against the Purdue Boilermakers and against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights as well. And you've got some other options on the outside. So these receivers are stepping up in the play-action game, and it all starts once again with the run game for the Wisconsin Badgers. Man, the more things change, the more they stay the same in Madtown. Now, this is a Wisconsin offense. I talked about how they're getting it together. That they are tied for the Big Ten lead in explosive plays right now. They've got 5 30-plus yard runs and 6 30-plus yard passes. They are tied with Oregon in that category right now. So they're getting big plays in the ground game, and then when the ground game is working, they're getting big plays over the top. They are achieving balance. They are achieving complementary football on the offensive side of the pigskin right now. We talked about defense. We talked about offense. And let's talk about maybe something that could play a factor in this game against Penn State, and that's special teams. Wisconsin has blocked 2 field goals and deflected 2 punts over the last 3 games. Penn State maybe has some kicking issues to work on so far, so that could be something in this game to certainly watch out for. Defense, offense, special teams, complementary football is why we are seeing the best version of the Wisconsin Badgers right now. Now, if this is indeed going to be an upset for the Wisconsin Badgers, I've got 2 things to really focus on, 2 keys that they need to achieve to be able to knock off the number 3 Nittany Lions. First of all, they need to stay disciplined. Braden Locke has to protect the football. He's been turning the football over. Even though they've been successful over these last 3 games, he has turned the football over. More on that a little bit later on. So they need to stay disciplined in turnovers, and they can't commit a lot of penalties as well. Wisconsin has been pretty disciplined in terms of penalties this season. They're averaging only 4 penalties per game. That is 3rd in the Big Ten. A total of just 27 yards per game penalty-wise. That is 2nd in the Big Ten. So you can't give Penn State free yardage. You need to stay disciplined in turnovers and penalties. Second thing, you need to run the football. We just talked about it. And then when you look at Penn State, now Penn State statistically is a pretty good run defense, but the last time that we saw Penn State play football was a couple of weeks ago. They had a bye week last week. It was a couple of weeks ago when they played the USC Trojans. USC rushed for not 1, not 2, not 3, but 189 yards. And big runs, explosive runs. Remember that Quentin Joyner run that got the scoring started. And remember what Woody Marks was able to do. USC averaged 7.9 yards per carry in that game against Penn State. Wisconsin needs to be able to run the football and set Braden Locke up with comfortable situations when you're able to start running downhill on this Penn State team. Discipline, run the football, and Wisconsin could be walking out of their home stadium, Camp Randall Stadium. Everybody's happy. It might be a party in Madison if they can achieve those 2 things. Let's talk about the Penn State Nittany Lions, folks. You need to let Tyler Warren cook again. A record-setting performance, 17 catches, 224 yards, and a touchdown against the USC Trojans. He is the weapon in the pass game for the Penn State Nittany Lions in this one. You need to get him the football, and you need to let Wisconsin dedicate more resources and shadow the defense in his direction. I am fully anticipating Andy Kotelnicki to continue to get even more creative as the season goes along, and in terms of getting Tyler Warren the football. You split him out wide, put him in the slot, put him in motion, put him at tight end, put him at quarterback, put him at running back. Okay, he's your best weapon. Utilize him in every single way you can. Wisconsin, they are, like we said, they are a good defense. This is a Wisconsin defense that is better against the pass than they are against the run in this game. But having Tyler Warren once again go off is going to allow Penn State to get out of Madison, certainly with a victory, or give them a very good chance to get out of Madison, Wisconsin, with a victory. And now once Wisconsin is dedicating more resources to him, Drew Aller and Andy Kotelnicki, if they're able to read that pre-snap, now you got one-on-one matchups with Amari Evans getting over the top maybe of the defense. You've got Liam Clifford. You've got Julian Fleming. We'll see if he can get more than just those couple of 4th down catches that he got against USC. Harrison Wallace, and maybe you can get some better matchups for some of your wide receivers when everybody's focused on 44 in blue and white. But getting Tyler Warren going early in this game is going to open up a lot of things for the Penn State offense as well. Wearing down Wisconsin. Let's rewind back to that Penn State-Illinois game. I did the reaction on that game, and I think that they're going to employ a similar strategy in this game where they want to be methodical and they want to wear down the Wisconsin Badgers as this game goes along. Look, just like that Illinois game, if this is a close game, if this is a one-possession game, if we get ahead, we play methodical football, and our defense is doing their thing, we're comfortable. Penn State is comfortable in that type of situation because when you wear down and you keep that Badger defense on the field for long periods of time, they continue to get wore down, and then all of a sudden you can capitalize where Penn State has great players, you can capitalize where Wisconsin has good players. Because now when all of a sudden you get some hands on hips and they're out there for a long period of time, Drew Aller is going to make plays. Tyler Warren is going to get open. Nick Singleton and Katron Allen are going to bust off game-changing runs towards the end of this game. I think the Nittany Lions need to pound the rock to be able to wear down the Badgers. Wisconsin is 14th against the run this season. Okay, they are certainly an improved defense, but I think the run game is especially key for the Penn State Nittany Lions to keep Tyler Warren, keep him getting open throughout the game, and to really wear down this Wisconsin defense to be able for them to be able to make plays down the stretch and be able to for them to hit key big plays in key moments later on in the football game. I want to end with one thing for Penn State. I talked about Braden Locke before. 6 turnovers in the last 3 games, and I think that this is going to be a giant key in this game. Can Penn State force Braden Locke into turnovers? I've been seeing this all week where we've got a close game, maybe it's a tie game, but you get Braden Locke into a 3rd and medium, into a 3rd and long, and you don't have to get completely in his face. You just chase him out a little bit. He's been known to throw off his back foot, be a little bit loose with the football. You get Abdul Carter, Denai Dennis Sutton, and you get Zane Durant really getting pressure on Braden Locke and forcing him into bad decisions. That could be the difference in this game. So the Nittany Lions need to find a way to play well against the run, especially later on in the football game. Make Braden Locke make the play. Make him protect the football, because that exactly hasn't been his strong suit, even in this 3-game win streak for the Wisconsin Badgers. Whew. Deep breath, because, folks, it is prediction time. Sometimes you have to go with your heart. A piece of my heart will always be home in Madison, Wisconsin. I picked it at the beginning of the season. Just like I picked Indiana to beat Nebraska at the beginning of the season, I'm picking the upset, and I'm going to tell you why. I think Wisconsin can run the football on the Penn State Nittany Lions in this game. And I think you have an offense and an offensive coordinator, unlike Lincoln Riley and USC, that says, hey, if we have success running the football, we are going to keep on running the football. The biggest factor, I think, for me picking this is Wisconsin's Super Bowl. There are not many opportunities that come along very often in the current state of this Wisconsin program where you're playing really good. You got a 3-game win streak. You're welcoming in the number 3 team in the country. I know they got Oregon a little bit later on in the season. That game might not be in night prime time like this, and I think that they feel, if you were to ask these coaches, you were to ask these players off the record, I think they would say, yeah, we feel that we can play with Penn State. Oregon is just on a completely another level as a football team right now. I think the Badgers can get it done. It is going to be tough. It is going to be a grinded out type of game, I think, no matter which direction this one goes. I am a neutral party most of the time. If you didn't know already, I am a fan of these Badgers. I always have been, and I always will be. That is my pick. I've got Wisconsin pulling the upset. What is your pick? Leave all your score predictions in the comments below. I'm Big Ten Ted. We will see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching Big Ten Ted, where it's all Big Ten all year long. Make sure to like the video to spread the word of Big Ten Ted to the masses, and subscribe to the channel for updates on Big Ten content that drops every day.